Top 10 Anime Fights. Whether it's flying fists, slashing sabers, rockin' robots, or a good old-fashioned energy blast, there's no doubt that all the best fights in anime happen right at the very crescendo of a truly great story arc. Collateral damage is an accepted and sometimes even welcome byproduct of the main outcome, to defeat the enemy at any cost. So what are some of the best anime fights we've ever had the pleasure to witness over the years? Number 10. Hellsing Ultimate Alucard vs. Walter. Walter was prepared to betray his friends and family just to get his shot at the kingpin of all vampires, Alucard. He fears becoming old and useless, allowing his obsession to consume him. Walter planned to die, no matter the outcome, win, lose, or draw. As a result, the final battle with Alucard is extraordinarily bloody and brutal. Even fans of particularly gory anime had eyes too big for their belly. He uses gloves wrapped in razor wire to ensnare Alucard before an almighty yank turned once solid arms and legs into exploding, blood-filled balloons. The vampire regenerates his limbs as fast as they are removed, replaced with shadowy, demonic effigies bulging with countless eyes. The razor wire tears nearby buildings clean in half during the epic battle, reducing demonic hellhounds summoned to aid Alucard to pools of pathetic sludge and burning ash. It's all done at such a frenzied pace that your eyes can't keep up. Number 9. One Punch Man Saitama vs. Boros. It's all in the name, a show about a protagonist that can defeat every opponent with a single blow, and his seemingly never-ending quest to find a worthy opponent. When he meets arch-nemesis Boros, it appears Saitama has found what he's been searching for, a challenge. The ultimate villain, one who can survive more than one punch from the hero, but is also able to regenerate a split second after the blow lands. Boros has been on the same journey, wiping out an entire city just to find someone on Earth worthy of fighting him. The ensuing brawl may start in the throne room, but the two trade shots as they batter and bruise each other literally to the moon and back. It all culminates in Saitama using a new attack, named Serious Punch, an attack so powerful that it reduces Boros to subatomic particles, with a shockwave parting clouds across the globe for thousands of miles. Number 8. Akame ga Kill Akame vs. Esdeath. After the Emperor's defeat and the death of her lover Tatsumi, Esdeath lays waste to the palace out of grief and pain. She's the only soldier left in the Empire, and now has nothing left in life other than to simply be the winner. Akame realizes it's inevitable that she must battle Esdeath, as she can't allow someone with that much power and thirst for wanton destruction to exist. Initially, Esdeath dismisses the challenge, instead offering Akame a chance to stand by her side as her second-in-command, an invitation that's quickly declined. After Esdeath beats Akame in a duel, the protagonist cuts herself with the magic blade Murasame, imbuing herself with the power of its cursed strength. This is the trump card, and instead of fear, her arch-nemesis feels eagerness at the new challenge laying ahead. A gore-filled battle ensues, complete with buckets of blood and severed body parts. Number 7. Parasite Shinichi vs. Goto. Alien life forms have floated down to Earth, eating away at the heads of unfortunate souls as they rest in their beds. The parasites replace the head and brain, controlling the bodies like puppet masters. They can morph into nearly limitless shapes, able to form sinuous muscle and razor-sharp blades at will. Shinichi was fortunate. His parasite only replaced his arm and is sympathetic to the human cause. After months seeking out and killing alien life forms, the duo come up against their greatest foe, Goto. This is a legion of 5 parasites cohabitating the same body. The eventual battle is absolutely insane, super fast-paced as extended tentacle limbs tipped with knives, hooks, and all manner of weapons are fired back and forth in a chess match of perpetual attack and defense. The fight scenes and brutal death scenes in Parasite are polar opposite to the otherwise slow, meandering high school teenager storyline. Attack on Titan Eren vs. Reiner. Attack on Titan is more than just a bloody, visceral anime about huge monsters eating people. It showcases some truly innovative combat techniques, which is a welcome reprieve from the punch-each-other-till-someone loses mentality of other animes. Reiner is revealed as the Armored Titan, prompting Eren to erupt into his Titan mode with one thing on his mind: to take out this burly behemoth. There's just one problem. Reiner has the clear size advantage and is incredibly strong, blocking Eren's attacks and delivering devastating blows of his own. Eren has to get creative and use the power and weight against Reiner, using real-life wrestling and jiu-jitsu techniques in order to shift Reiner's weight distribution to cause imbalance, while sneaking around his guard with takedowns and crippling joint manipulations. Number 5. Devilman Crybaby Akira vs. Ryo. Two friends are fated to fight each other, as they're both possessed by otherworldly demons. Akira is the vessel for the demon Amon, and Ryo the fallen angel Lucifer. After using the power of Amon to become Devilman, Akira cuts his way through a swathe of low and high-ranking monsters of the demonic armies before all that's left is his once friend, now foe. The clash is world-shattering in the very literal sense, with the two fighting across earth, ocean, and sky, their super-strength punches and pulsating particle beams cracking the earth in two and tearing holes in the fabric of space and time. At the end, Ryo reveals that he fused Amon's spirit with Akira on purpose so that he would have a friend by his side during the coming apocalypse, and that the demon killing was training for the war against God. The animation is highly unusual, with a striking pop art style featuring highly emotive faces and grotesque over-the-top movement. Number 4. Full Metal Alchemist: Edward Elric vs. Father. The sins of the father will be inherited by the son. In this case, Father is a villain hoping to reach godhood by gorging himself on the souls of slaughtered humans. He purges himself of the 7 deadly sins in an effort to become a god, each time creating a new immortal being called a homunculi. After defeating hordes of enemies, including the homunculi, leaders of the good guys, Edward Elric goes head-to-head with the first of the immortals, Father. This primordial being seems immune to everything from modern munitions and rockets to fireballs, electric shockwaves, and even iron arrows manifested out of thin air. After witnessing all of his friends being severely injured in an exploding force field attack, Edward taps into a hidden innate power and unleashes his full wrath and fury. He turns Father into a brittle vessel made of graphite before punching holes in his body, causing all the souls trapped inside to burst free all at once. Number 3. Bleach: Ichigo vs. Aizen. Ichigo faces many dangerous foes during his time as a Soul Reaper, but Aizen is in a league all of his own. He carefully and meticulously takes down any and every obstacle in his path to ultimate power and executes his plan perfectly. Even without the world hanging in the balance, the final battle between the pair is hypercharged with emotion. Both swordsmen consumed by anger and rage, hell-bent on the destruction of the other. There are bad intentions behind every swing of the sword, every parry, every block, as it becomes abundantly clear that only one will be walking away from the exchange alive. This fight has everything: crazy demonic powers, flying airborne while hurling special superpower abilities at each other, and even an underwater scene. Number 2. Naruto vs. Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke's rivalry lasted the entire series, and a finale without a showdown between the two ninjutsu practitioners would have left fans rioting in the streets of Japan. The action constantly changes perspectives, from a long shot showing the two exchange kicks and punches to close-ups showing the grit, determination, and emotion on their faces. It alternates between each fighter's point of view, so those watching get a sense of what the fight looks like through each character's eyes. The flashy choreography and incredible powers start to slow down as the fighters tire, eventually devolving into a bare-knuckle brawl in the mud. Both Naruto and Sasuke were absolutely exhausted, yet there was a fire burning in their eyes as neither yielded, both refusing to give up. Honorable mentions. There are bound to be crazy fight scenes that we've managed to miss out on our short list, so here are a few visual treats from some of our favorites that didn't make the chop. Gurren Lagann: Team Gurren versus the Anti-Spiral. Sometimes all you want to see are two opposing mechas, as gigantic as creation, hurling attacks the size of galaxies at each other with the force of the Big Bang. Brilliant. Evangelion Neon Genesis: EVA Unit 02 vs. Unmanned EVAs. Asuka beats down on 9 EVAs before being hit full force with the Spear of Longinus, ending in the gruesome mutilation and brutal disembowelment of Unit 02. Sword of the Stranger: Nanashi vs. Luo Lang. No supernatural forces, just two master swordsmen opposing one another. The action is non-stop slashes, stabs, and parries, and is an example of beautifully aesthetic animation. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Jotaro vs. Dio. This final battle is pure ridiculousness. Dio throws massive shots that should wipe the floor with Jotaro, who deftly evades them by time-altered dashes before shattering Dio into a million pieces. Number 1. Dragon Ball Z: Kid Gohan vs. Cell. A series as action-packed as Dragon Ball Z could fill its own list of top fights. It's packed to the brim with amazing animation and iconic fights that have spawned a slew of copycat animes in their wake. The fight that reignited the legend of the Super Saiyan between Goku and Frieza is child's play compared to this one, despite enough shockwave blast and force to destroy the planet Namek. The child versus the perfect being, Gohan vs. Cell, the best fight. After the realization that he couldn't defeat Cell, Goku surrenders, giving his now trained son the chance to unleash the dormant power deep within him. Each taunt, insult, kick, punch, and blast made by Cell creeps the countdown timer just that little bit closer to zero, and eventually the ticking time bomb explodes as Gohan absorbs enough punishment and just snaps. He's usually a kind, gentle boy who wouldn't hurt a fly and loves crying into his mother's apron. But with the inherited rage boiling in his Saiyan blood, he becomes an unstoppable powerhouse, and the look on Cell's face as he realizes he's bitten off more than he can chew is priceless. The evil villain is vaporized by a Kamehameha energy blast launched with the combined powers of the father and the son, Goku and Gohan. So there you have it, the very best of the best out of all the fight scenes in all the animes. Now we know that it all boils down to personal taste, so please let us know in the comments if we missed any classic battles. What would your top 10 be, or would you have any suggestions for the title of our next action-packed video?